Hey, what's up guys? So today's video is going to be on restoring faded or foggy headlights. Alright guys, so as you can see along my headlight, they are starting to fog up. Now the reason behind this is the UV rays from the sun. They do cause the plastic to oxidize. Alright guys, so step number one is going to be wet sanding your headlights. Now you can start from a different variation of sandpaper. It just varies on how bad your headlights are. Now mine aren't too bad as you can see, so I'm probably going to start off with 1,000. Now if they are a little rougher, you will want to start off with 600 and work your way up to 2,000 like I will. And if you are fairly new to wet sanding, you do want to tape off the edges of your headlight. Now I've had some experience throughout the past, so I will not be needing that step. So what you will need for this process is soap and water. So this, you just mix it in here. As you can see, it's soapy water. Now this is gonna reduce the friction along the headlight, which will give you a nice smooth wet sand. And then there's also your sandpaper. Now I usually divide my sheets into 4 to make it easier. So this way you can just fold it up, make it easier for you to use it on the headlights at least. Alright, so here we go, starting the wet sand process. Now you just want to put some water along your headlights. You don't want them to be dry. And then you're gonna grab your sheet of sandpaper that's been sitting in the bucket of water for a few minutes. And you're gonna go ahead and start sanding here. Now you can see that milky residue. That's the oxidization that is coming off. So that's how you know it's working. So like I said, you do want to be careful along those edges. Now as you can see, my headlight comes to a point. Now these smaller areas might be difficult to get to. So you do grab your sandpaper, you just want to use the end to your advantage. So go nice and slow, I mean take your time. That's the way you're going to get good results. Alright, so after your first sanding stage, you want it to be a uniform, dull finish. Now my headlight wasn't that bad, so you do kind of see a few spots that are shiny. Now those spots did not need any attention, so that's why those are untouched. So the next sanding step is going to be the 2000 grit. Now the 2000 grit is going to get rid of the 1000 grit sand marks. Now that will also leave the lens with a more shinier finish after the buff is done, because the 1000 grit sand marks will no longer be there. Alright, so the 2000 grit sandpaper is finished. Now as you can see, you can't see it anymore, it's more transparent. Now that was the last step of sanding for today. Now I'll be using the dual action polisher for the next step to buff the headlights. Now I'll be taping along the edges so I do not burn the paint. Alright, so I will start the taping process. Now I'm going to be using frog tape. Now usually I like to get the tape underneath the paint, as you can see here. Now this will basically just wrap it around the edge. Now with this, it'll have no chance to come out and burn your paint. Alright, so like I said, for the next process of buffing, I will be using my dual action polisher, as you can see. Now in this one I do have a wool pad. And for my compound, I will be using 3M rubbing compound. Now this is the medium stage. I'll show you that one too. So the way you want to apply the compound is I usually just put a few dabs here and there. I want to gap it evenly. You don't want to put too much because it will splatter, but you want enough to get the results. So you're going to want to set your DA on a low speed. Now I prefer like 2 or 3, so this way it does not burn the product into your headlight, which I have previously done. So once you get to this step, you're just going to rub it in with your pad. Now this prevents it from splattering all over you. So now after you are finished with the first process, you're going to want to grab a microfiber towel and wipe away any excess product. So now after that step is finished, I like to use 3M's Perfect Paste Wax. Now this is basically going to seal the headlights. Go ahead and put it on there. So after that, you can see the finished product. Now this will really brighten your front end. Now if your car is older, the headlights being yellow will make it look older than what it really is. Now this is basically gonna give your car a facelift, and it will increase your visibility from your headlights at night. Now with that being said, that will summarize today's video. Until next time.